we're gonna be making a wild rice soup, and we've started with our 5 carrots, 5 celery, and half an onion.
Okay.
With a little bit of butter. And we're just gonna give that a little stir because, and I'll pass that along to you,
okay,
because we're gonna be adding in our 4 cloves of garlic as well.
Oh, you love your garlic.
I do, I can't help it. Yeah.
So, I love that you love your garlic.
Yeah. So we got 4 cloves of garlic, and then we're going to be adding in our mushrooms.
Okay. I'm just gonna try.
Lots of mushrooms, yep. Okay.
You got 3 pots cooking here.
And then we have our wild rice. So this wild rice, 1 cup, is rinsed. And we are going to be adding that in. The reason we rinsed, remove that extra starch so that our soup doesn't get clumpy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in.
Which I guess technically you're supposed to do with all rice, but it's particularly important apparently with wild rice.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
How's that?
That looks beautiful. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add our seasoning. So we have our poultry seasoning, 1 teaspoon. We got a teaspoon of salt. And then we got half a teaspoon of dry thyme as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so lots of great aromas.
Yes,
And
it's happening. It is happening.
Then we're gonna add in our 6 cups of chicken broth. And we are going to be covering this and bringing it to a boil.
Okay.
Over
So
medium
this will...
heat.
Yep.
Good job, awesome. Love it.
Okay.
Cover that.
Step 1 done. Now we
Step 1.
are making roux, correct?
Yes. So while that boils until the rice is fully cooked, 30, 40 minutes, depending on the rice, then we're gonna work our roux to add it to our final soup. So I have here starting is our half a cup of melted butter. So yeah, I'll let you add that.
Let's start whipping
Beautiful.
that up. Okay.
And then we're gonna be adding our flour in gradually. Important to add gradually so that we don't end up with those clumps in the roux, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't take a ton of time for it to kind of come together here. But yeah, you don't want it clumpy.
No, it looks good though.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
And then our last little bit.
Okay.
And then we have 2 cups of milk that we'll be adding into this roux as well. So once we get that nice nutty aroma coming through,
What do you think?
smells, yeah,
Let's do it.
Smells great. We'll add that. And yeah, perfect.
Okay. And so, yeah, that's going to thicken up. Okay.
So even if you do a variation of a slow cooker with this recipe or Instapot, you're still going to be adding your roux at the end.
Right.
Because if we add it too early, then we end up with curdling milk, and we don't want that from our roux in our soup.
Right.
So
Okay.
towards the end, add it in.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So you think that's enough, like doesn't need to thicken now necessarily, or
You
it
can
would
let it thicken, and then since our soup is simmering as well, it's also going to
help that cook up a little
thicken.
bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that looks pretty good. So while you kind of get our pot ready over there,
Okay.
I will pour
Wait,
this
we're putting
in.
it. Yeah, we're putting it in this one. It's got 3 pots going. Okay. Ah, yes.
Oh yes,
Lovely.
there it is.
Okay.
So rice looks nice and done. Veggies look perfect, nice and tender. We'll add that roux in. You can give that a nice little stir.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Bring this up to a nice creamy stovetop wild rice soup.
Just an incredible comfort food. You've got your roux in there that's going to thicken that up really, really nicely. And so, of course, we're doing it on the stove here tonight, but this can also be done in a slow cooker as well, correct?
Sure can.
Yeah. So, and then, so, sorry, how long about, you know, on, if you're doing it on the stovetop?
Stovetop, you're cooking it based on the wild rice. So you want that to be cooked thoroughly. So 30, 45 minutes, depending on the rice. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, so of course, what we would really love for you to do is try these recipes at home. And they're all available on the website, greattastemb.ca. And because this was a very sort of a special, you know, episode that we did, it's a food story. You know, we would love for you to try it and let us know what you think of it and what you thought of it. So that would be an absolutely wonderful thing to do. So how are you feeling about sharing the food story tonight? Did you feel like we did it right?
Yes, it feels good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be able to kind of share people's food stories. This one's a nice Métis classic, and wild rice is actually in Michif. The language of the Métis is called le riz farouche.
Okay.
Yeah, so still learning the chif, but I try to practice it whenever I can.
That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. Again, we so appreciate your bringing this, to share with us all tonight, and looking very, very forward to kind of, bringing it all together here. And yes, as a matter of fact,
I mean,
what are we waiting for? So, but again, this would thicken, right? But just want to kind of give it a lovely, just so that you can kind of have a look and see.
See all the nice carrots in there as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is a beautiful soup, wild rice soup. Thank you again for sharing this with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Okay, so when we come back, we are going to introduce you to yet another amazing farming family here that helps bring these incredible ingredients to all of our tables here in Manitoba when we come back on Great Tastes.